Okay, so it's 6:55 on the 26th, which is Monday. I had to go look. I was like, is it Sunday? And I was like, wait a minute. Is it Monday? Yeah, it's Monday. Man, I swear to God, time is so... So are my fucking allergies. Time is so weird. And I've got some mark on my lip here. I don't know. I was thinking, well, did I bite my lip in my sleep? I have no idea. I just woke up with this situation. It's weird. Because usually I have bitten my lip, but usually it's like in the daytime and I don't realize it. And it's usually on this side and I have a purple bruise. So I don't know what the hell. But, my dreams, I'm going and dealing with all sorts of stuff. Everything is so freaking weird. And definitely it seems like... It seems like most of the videos I'm seeing is people talking about the storm, talking about what caused it, talking about nothing's adding up, and weird things from the storm. But one of the weird things is, of course, people dumping animals. Like I, and then also people who just leave their dogs outside in the bitter cold. Don't give a crap. There's one, and the woman was like confronting the guy, and she's like, it doesn't even have water. He's like, well, every time we put it out, it freezes. Okay, and you don't think the dog should have any kind of shelter? You don't think the dog should be any? And it's like, I swear to God, I don't know. I don't understand why some people even get them. It's like, what in the world? I don't know. It's just is so wacky. People keep taking their animals to the shelter and asking them to just put them down. People just dumping them. Somebody tied a husky under a bridge. I don't know if they put it in a crate or tied it to something under a bridge, but it was like trapped under this bridge and froze. So they tried to rescue it and tried to save it. And they were trying to save it. And now the dog has died and 2 people were arrested. So there's more people getting arrested for these crimes, man. This kind of thoughtless kind of feeling towards respecting life. But it's weird is like it's also like these people's soul animals. Like these animals are here to teach them big lessons. When it's some big stuff, these are animals that these people are deeply connected to. They don't remember because they're here for this lesson, so they're programmed into this lesson to go in and experience, because there's a huge aftermath or a circumstance or a consequence that occurs. And so anyways, there's so much stuff going on, so many things, so much sad stuff still, just one thing after another, just weird stories, weird things happening. The weather's weird. And I don't know if they're going to shut down, like if there's power out in different places and they're going to leave it off. I've seen something about that, but I don't know. It was supposedly affecting a lot of places. And then people start putting up videos, old videos of ice storms and stuff, and start interfering with information. And so it's like, man, I don't know. Because every time you start seeing all of these big freeway accidents, all this ice stuff, I'm seeing so many trees falling, trees blowing up, which is the weirdest thing. When before have trees blown up? Like, and now all of a sudden we got trees blowing up. And they say it's because the stuff inside, the sap and stuff is freezing and causing the tree to blow up. Okay, well, why hasn't that ever happened before? Everything's just so weird. And then they just try and tell us like we're just supposed to accept everything, which I don't know, I don't know what the hell. Is it frequencies that are causing the trees to blow? Is it the cold? Is it something that was put down, that was showered down, and then it caused something, and then they do this other thing, and then this is going to happen? And is it kind of because when you're in a lab and you are doing experiments, you have I can't think of the word, but you have like a solution. You have something you're aiming towards, something you're trying to prove or disprove. And so there's, you know, like if we do this, well, is this going to happen? How's it going to happen? When's it going to happen? And so it's all about that. It's all about the, yeah, the tension between facts is what they're trying to associate and create a scenario, and then claiming it as fact and telling us, you know, I mean, because like after this, then would we just always have trees blowing up and when storms in the winter? Who knows? Who knows if this is our last winter? You know, this could be our last winter. Supposedly it was our last Christmas. So could be our last winter. I did see somebody talking about, God, my nose just keeps running and running. I did see, and it's cold, so cold here. No snow or rain or anything. And you know what's weird too is because the sun came out again yesterday. And when you go outside, because it's just like total frost. And then as soon as the sun hits, so anywhere in the shade, it stays frosted until the sun hits. But as soon as the sun hits, it just goes really quick. But if you go out in the sun, it feels like the sun is in the 90s. It's just the weirdest thing. It's like, well, how is it so cold when the sun is this hot? To me, it doesn't make any sense. There's so many things that just don't make any sense. I've talked about that for a long time. It's almost like the sun doesn't put out heat only if you're in the direction. So if you're right there, but it doesn't, like in the summertime when there is the sun is out and it's hot, then all the air becomes hot and everything is hot. It's not like we're having cool air and a hot sun, and then all of a sudden in the winter, it's like this cool air, but this hot sun. But it's like, to me, it's like, well, how does that happen? Why is the sun, and then, you know, whatever, they tell us, oh, well, there's cold fronts and all that stuff. But I don't know. Something just doesn't sit right. Something seems really artificial and created about the whole thing. So much about our weather seems to be a creation of, you know, machine or something. And then I guess they probably want to make it more effective by putting a bunch of stuff up, you know, because the people who were having all these warnings were showing their sky. It was crazy. It was crazy how many lines. Like, I haven't seen that in a while. In Spokane, it wasn't even that many compared to what some of these places have. And here, it's not as many, but I don't know if they're doing them at night, which I did go out to look because it's dark. So I went out to look because during the daytime, the moon was right up here. And then it was just one, and it was up above me, and it was like a half. And then so I went out and looked this morning, like a 4 something, and it was, I couldn't see any moons, no moons at all, so I couldn't see 2 or 1 or anything. But this video I saw, this girl was talking about the new map, the one that they put on Doomsday. So I know Edgar Cayce made one of the maps and put it in his books or something. And unless, you know, I haven't seen that, so I don't know. I'm saying, like, I don't know. I've heard that Edgar Cayce did a map, and I've seen where people have said, like, this is the map Edgar Cayce did, and it matches really similar to this other map that they put in as the Doomsday map. But then also the naval projected map, I thought was the Doomsday map. And the naval projected map, then it's like, well, where did they get it? Did they take Edgar Cayce's? Did they put that in the computer over weather anomalies? Or, like, how did they come up with their map? Because it also matches Edgar Cayce's. And so this Doomsday map is this other psychic, and I talked about this a couple weeks ago because I saw somebody talking about this psychic who had a vision or something and saw the change in the landscape, all the water rise and stuff. And so they were saying, there's an article about it or something, and they were saying that this guy, he had a vision, like a dream or something, and he saw the whole land mass thing change. And he said, right before it happened, there was this blue and white solar event thing. So something up in the sky that happened. And he said it was like this energy that came from really far away. And it came and then it like caused this big thing to happen to the water and the land and stuff. So, which to me, for it to all happen at once like that and for something to come from the sky makes me go back to the idea of it being something that causes the firmament and the ice wall to go quickly. And that would be, to me, us raising our vibration enough to break through the barrier that contains us. So that would be the containment, would be the firmament and the ice wall. And so, because even if you could go out of the ice wall, you have to be able to meet the vibration. And there's only a few people that we know of that have been documented that have gone out and had experiences outside of the wall, and they were told that it was because of their vibration by these other beings that they were able to match the vibration where they were. So so to me, it seems like that would kind of go together. So that some kind of energetic blast, which I guess the NASA is saying that the Atlas is putting out some blue and white light or something. And so I was thinking, well, for people who are in some of the places like danger zones, then you would have like a warning if you're paying attention. There'll be something, if this is accurate, if this is true, is there would be some sort of warning in the sky. There would be some kind of like, which I had heard before too, that was going to really pick up in the auroras before this thing happened. And right now the auroras are crazy. People who have them are showing videos and stuff, and they're really crazy. And so the auroras are definitely picking up. People awakening and being more aware of the world around us, that's definitely occurring. People are definitely going more into their anger and fears, or going more into their compassion and empathy. So that's definitely occurring. The what are the other things? So yeah, people are coming together in different kind of modes, because some people are coming together in anger and violence, and other people are coming together in caring and compassion. And so if the so the auroras have picked up, and that's a precursor, and then some kind of flashing thing that happens in the sky, which is weird how they were pushing on the Atlas so much, and then it kind of backed off, and then it's kind of now it's being brought up again. But there keeps being these reports that the NASA scientists are saying, you know, this stuff, and you got to beware and be ready. And I think, you know, some of them know something big is coming, but you can't get, I mean, you have some of us who are, you know, watching, you know, we sound like the sky is falling, but other people who just have no awareness at all, and there's nothing you can do about that. And so it seems like, though, that all of this stuff is getting closer. Like, we are definitely, you know, sliding into home with all of these things happening, because it is, I mean, what are the chances that they would all be happening? Like the roars would be picking up and all of that stuff. And so it seems like it is accurately all going together. And so I don't know. I think that I mean, every day we get closer to whatever's going to come, whatever's going to happen. We get closer and closer and closer. I would expect this week that there'll be some big stuff that will happen with the politics. There's some big stuff. I don't know if it will be about money, if it will be about power structures, if it will be about more with, erections by Tim. And we just got to see how it plays out. But I would suspect there's going to be some big stuff that will happen this week in that arena. And because I don't know, it's kind of like the things that occur push us more, which creates more emotions, which changes the vibration, which pulls in the energy, and so it all goes together. And so I would think whatever is this blue and white thing, which I guess they've even said that this, Atlas or something is putting out some blue and white signal. So is it going to get close enough for us to see? And the thing is too, is everything is multidimensional. And so we think of everything as being very physical, but it's multidimensional. And so it can be in and out of our vibration, and when things are traveling, they aren't traveling from a million light years away. They're traveling through dimensional pull. It's like the vibration is like a magnetic pull. It's like a magnetism. And I think that is why they started introducing that word more into, Mr. Catalyst started introducing that word more into our language, into our consciousness, so that because the things are like a magnetism, like you are pulled into your vibration. It's not like you have to do something. It happens in a natural way. They like pull into each other. They collide by pulling, by the magnetism. This is something that my guides told me when this very first started with me. And so back like in 2016. No, it must have been 2017. Because I'd already had this trigger of this person that I didn't know coming into my orbit in the astral kind of, I would say, and that me being confused. At first I felt kind of obsessed, and then it was because I thought, well, this is about to happen. I never had an experience like this before. And then but they told me that it was magnetic, that it was a magnetic pull. And so that's this whole concept too behind this, like what is yours will always find you. What is meant to be is meant to be, and it is pulled to you through like this magnetic force. And when you are but you have to come into alignment with it, but you're always going to do what you do when you do it. And that's, a part of things that people don't really understand. But you always are going to do what you do when you do it. And it is always going to happen at the timing that it is pre-planned for. And you, and at this time, we are all going into our vibration, whether it's through awareness and more of a structured pathway where you are purposefully going towards healing and reevaluating yourself to bring yourself into a more grateful, happy place in life, and not so much in fear. And a big part of it is the robotic sense of existence and just doing what you're told and trying to please others. And this creation of this false self. And so that is so that is the so there is a natural vibration that people have. So not everybody is purposefully going in a direction purposefully to bring their vibration up. But some people are, but other people, they are just, it's like based on their vibration, just on who they are, what their intentions are in life, what they're putting out from their heart space. And but there is some things through the different beings' existence, of their transits, of the people that come in and out, that they're learning or reevaluating things. And then along the way, those of us who have been more purposeful, and somebody interacts with us and they talk about something, a situation, then we put out a coordinate that is an alignment for them, so that they then look at it different than an automatic response. So it's a reevaluation. So a lot of the people have been under, like an undertow, under healing, without realizing in a more dutiful, purposeful intention. And so it's more of a low key kind of thing, because it is the ripple of the change from the people who change how they do things. And then, like, I mean, you know, like if you're talking to somebody and like what you've learned through your healing and stuff, and a big thing is like boundaries. And that has been a really, you know, it's a hot topic that we've been told about, but still people had a real issue with having boundaries. And so a lot of people, you know, get used by people or feel like they have to do things for people and all of that stuff. And so then somebody can be talking to you about something, and you say, well, I don't know, my boundaries or something. Then it makes them start thinking like, oh yeah, that's true. I could, you know, I've got to have boundaries on this. I can't just do something because somebody wants me to. I've got to think of like, is this okay for me? You know, what does this do to my schedule? What does this do to my life? And it's okay to tell people, like, I can't just do everything for you. And sometimes not being able to do everything for someone is something that they needed to grow. Sometimes people need these pathways to growth. And so you're not helping anybody to just run and clean up their mess, do everything for them, because then you become an enabler and they become dependent, and it becomes a toxic interaction. So being healthy and knowing your worth is more productive, and then to claim your space and not try and do everything for somebody is and it all is by intention too, because if it is you thinking, well, this is your problem, it's your lesson, so don't pull me, you know, on some level you can be thinking that, but it really goes by your intention. Everything goes by what you're putting out, your intention. And so you can feel like you're doing some things right, but if your intention is, it depends on if it's through compassion or if it's through, you know, judgment, like you deserve what you get. And so don't bother me about it. And so it's, there's different, you know, different vibrations on certain information. And so, and it's your truth. It's what comes out of you. And even if you try and say something, it is that your vibration is still your vibration. So you can claim what you want in words, but the words don't matter as much as the intention. And so your intention is what feeds into your magnetism, or your place in this world, structured around your vibration. And so that's where there's no mistaking where people will go. Everybody will be pulled or drawn into the place that their vibration matches. And yeah, I kind of see it like I don't know, it's like this universe breathing. And it's weird, is because like we were a big mix of all different vibrations in our hearts, but we came into a space, a shared space. We played into roles, and we developed characters, and then so it was like we were playing the same game at different levels. And so then the shakeup occurred, and the shakeup was to bring you to your truth, to bring you to your center of who you are on the inside. And that's real and raw, and it can be very vulnerable. And it's been a lot of people, their spirit's been crushed. So it's a lot of like a healing that has to be done in order to find their center and become the truth of who they are. And in that process, which is what the process of what is happening on the planet in the micro macro, at some point that is what is occurring, because it is occurring for all things. And so everything is in this transitional period of coming to their center or their truth. And so then the expansion that occurs, but the expansion is the kind of pulling everyone out from the hodgepodge of chaos, of everyone being in a different vibration, and kind of pulling them free from that chaos of like this like speculation, spectacle, this uneasiness of what it is when you don't match. And so this occurrence is what pulls us all into a space where we are our truth, and we match where we are, because we've lived through this experiences, through not fully matching, but identifying with it. And even to the point of a lot of people, questioning themselves and not understanding themselves. And so this occurrence that pulls us all free from the chaos, that pulls us more into alignment with the specifics of our magnetism, and it pulls us into a space where we're comfortable. Yeah, that is trippy, because we sit there and we think like, oh, well, this is the better world. We're going to go to this, age of Aquarius where everybody loves each other. It's all peace and love, baby. And so we're, those of us who are focused on that and working with intention on trying to meet that vibration. But honestly, everyone will feel more comfortable, because they won't have the lower vibration will be more comfortable, because it won't have the higher vibration, trying to tell it it's wrong all the time. And so it can go into a zone where it matches the vibration that it is, and where it is. But that doesn't also, it doesn't mean that they are going to stay at that vibration, because your heart or your soul, your spirit is always coming into alignment, like with itself, its higher version of itself. And that is the part, that is the supernatural part of you, that is coming into alignment with the part of you that you don't know. You don't see it in the mirror. Ooh, but you can see it in the mirror sometimes. But it depends on what you're looking for in the mirror. But you don't see yourself or recognize yourself as your truth. You contain yourself into a committed kind of resonance of joining in to a space. And so, but the people who are, like a lot of people think, well, they're lower vibration and they're going to go to places that are horrible, but also that's judgmental. Like, that's you saying that the world, that living is a horrible thing, and living is horrible. And really, that is the wrong view, because what living is experiencing, and it is through experience is growth, and through growth is learning. It's very productive. And so it's not something to be, I hate living, I hate lives, and those people are stupid and they're going to go and stay in these horrible lives and stuff. But lives are really experiences. It's kind of like going on a vacation, like in this experience that we're in, and going on a vacation. And then not every vacation turns out the way you want. Not every vacation is easy. You run into all sorts of issues sometimes and problems. And it's a part of the adventure. It's a part of your experience. And always with problems, there's outcomes, and from outcomes you learn. And so everything has there's always a tail on the comet. Like, there's always more that you get from the core of the experience. And so it is it's not where we want to sit there and, like a lot of people, like, I'm never going to reincarnate again, I hate being alive and stuff. And it is I think it's a easier acknowledgement to be like, okay, we're in a really low vibrational world, and we come here on purpose. That's the thing. And there's been a lot of realities that have been low vibration, but there's also a lot of realities where it's been a lot of high vibration. It's a high and low mix. And so I think it's important for us to really be a lot more like, life is good. Life brings growth. Life is an experience. Life is an adventure. And not be so, life sucks, man. Life sucks and people suck and I hate being alive and all that. That is a victim blame, blaming, a blame game. And so the people who are staying in a more, lower vibration reality is, but they'll be surrounded by lower vibrations. So it will be a comfort. And then they can just continue to go through their experiences of learning and growing from situations. This is just a step in some people's journey. It's not like, for some people it's like a graduation but it's a lot of work, but so it's a graduation to pull yourself into what it is you want to experience. And then the other ones, they don't have that because it isn't where they're at, and they're still in the point of going through the the link of experiences that are linked together through a core lesson, through a core growth, through a core of it is like a facet on a diamond, how I see it. And so to create, like, I don't know how diamonds are created. So I don't know if they, you know, but it's kind of like in that sense of like the wind and the water going against something to create a corrosion that creates a diameter, and in that dimension there is like the completion of the facet, which is the completion of the experience. And so it's not one experience gives you the completion. It is more of a sector, a, 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 a group of, because you got to see it from different perspectives. So you can't just go in and live one life and see it from that perspective and call it a completion. It is, you have to see it from all different perspectives, and so that you can get the full value of what it is that you're trying to understand or learn. And so it is, some of the people are still in that chain of events. They're in a link of the chain of events, of experiences that lead them to the point of completion of a cycle. And that is where we have all different tendencies, all different beings here that are, some are in the completion of a cycle. That is the idea of where some people would say like old soul, because they have gone through so many life cycles that they are at a point of completion of the cycle, the link of the chain of the lesson of events. And like, I don't know how many, like, if you just, like, I think it depends on what it is you're learning too, is, like, it seems that one lesson, it's weird too, because this thing I'm looking at right now is like, I can, it's like I'm going back and forth. And then all of a sudden I realize, like, oh wait, this area that I'm looking is a curtain rod, and it has those big circle things. So it has those big, what are these things called? Rivets, or these big circle things. And so, and they go back and forth to have the curtain on it. So it kind of goes with what I'm talking about, this like chain of events on this spectrum of this, they're all linked through the one fiber, but they're all separate, and they're on one bar of the lesson spectrum. And so then you have all of these different lives that lead you to the completion of what it is that you are trying to understand. And that, I would say, is like the cycle, a closing of a cycle is a completion of perspective, like, is how I would perceive what I'm seeing, how I'm picking up on what I'm being shown. And so I would say that it isn't, because it's like every rivet or whatever these things are, like one lesson can go through, I mean, you could go through double the amount that are there. You could go through half the amount of there. It is like, it's variable. It's very variable. So it isn't a set thing like, well, you got to go through 25 lives and you got to go through each one. You got to be this, you got to do this, you got to, no, it's like, it's so variable. That's what the whole universe is of, in the sense of science. It wants every variable. It wants every single thing. So it's not set, nothing's set. And so a soul that is still in this chain of events, that can be just as fucking, they can be old too. You know, it doesn't have anything to do with old souls and stuff like that. It has more to do with this completion of the cycle of what it is you're here to learn. And there's big lessons that are happening right now, big lessons. So, you know, I mean, rather than sitting there saying, oh, these stupid people, they're never going to wake up, we should be, you know, thinking like, this is very exciting, because they are they're going, there's big things here to help them on their path to completion of a cycle. We shouldn't just be caught up in like, oh well, we've completed it, now we're good, well, we've done it now. And you know, and how is anybody going to know until the thing happens and then you find out where you're at? Like, you know, so because I think there's people who are so caught up in that like judgment of life and hate and anger and ego and stuff like that, that they may not go where they think they're going. You know, that's the thing, is like, you can't just say you want to be there. You got to match it. You got to become it. And then the people who aren't doing that, it's because they're not supposed to. They're supposed to be doing this other thing. They're supposed to be focusing on, and it's not like they need to be focusing on it, like they got to get up every morning, oh, I got to focus on my lessons for the day. No, your soul is, it's very natural. It gets natural. It happens automatically. What you need to know will be shown to you. What you will see will be what you see. And that is each structured experience for each soul. And it's programmed into you. It's a part of your structure. And even though they want to interfere and influence our DNA structure and our patterns and stuff, but they they can, but that is also a part of learning of, why do I listen to somebody else? Why do I take a knee to somebody else? Why do I let someone else have power over me? So there's still lessons, and those would be lessons that the people would be coming to experience. It's not like you can trick the universe and throw in a new lesson that wasn't prepared. It's all prepared. And so we should be really excited for anybody who, and not be thinking, oh, they're going, you know, they're going to be stuck in hell. They're going to be stuck in all these horrible things. No, they're getting really valuable lessons, really valuable things that are a part of their journey to get to where they're going. So it's not just the people who are completing cycles, and because people get really caught up in, you know, the completing the cycle and elevating them and stuff like that. But really, you know, there's lots of souls in there that are old souls, and they've been, you know, we've all had to go through these sectors, these sects of experience, and we all have to go through these different points of experience to reach the completion. And just some of us are here for this completion to line up with this new beginning, because you have to have, there has to be something to give the new beginning. There has to be something that is the new beginning. There has to be something that goes in the direction of the new beginning, because then you wouldn't have a new beginning if there was nobody to be there. It's like having a party and nobody comes. So there had to be people who would be in alignment with that scenario, so that that scenario could continue and play out, because it is literally the creation of a new world. And I think that's what has to do with this like big bang, this big thing, this occurrence that's going to happen that propels everybody to where it is they're going, because it's like the beginning of something new. And that could be why, some people perceive it as that we die because we explode apart from this reality to go into the new reality. And that could be a part of the graduation factor, is the recognition of you can't really get hurt, you can't really blow up, you can't really die, and to stay in your conscious state and to go to where it is that you want to go. So and it may be, not very difficult. It may be like, well, you land somewhere in some grass and you're sitting there and you're like, oh, wait a minute, I know where I'm at. I'm at the new world. I'm at the place where we're starting over. And then as you do that, maybe it is that you begin to acknowledge or to draw in other souls into your reality. And that's where, the it all comes together. I don't know. I don't know how it's all going to go down. But I do feel like, kind of like, well, that seems like a warning shot, is if some big blue and white thing starts happening in the sky, I would take it as like, oh, this could be the time to evacuate from all of these different places and move more inland to get to safer places. And the crazy thing is like over in California, it can be a distance because it's gonna go so far over. And so I don't know, maybe it's going to be though, the water's going to rise, but maybe it's not going to be like 100 feet deep right off the bat. Maybe, you can still be going in a direction, but who knows how this is going to go. It's going to be a real shakeup, with volcanoes, earthquakes, tsunamis, water. Who knows if the water's going to be falling because the firmament's going to open and the ice wall is going to suddenly melt, and it's going to be a big shakeup. And maybe, when you think about it, maybe all of these things that have been going, all of these weather anomalies and stuff has all been preparing us. Maybe we're really been being prepared for what's to come, and we all are angry about it. That's where we really got to get out of the anger. Get out of the life sucks, man. This is too fucking hard. And get more into the, oh, well, I got another lesson. I learned another thing today. It's very exciting. I feel the expansion happening. Maybe we need to get more like that. I don't know. Because, but you got to be real too. Because some of these days are hard, man. Really hard. The energy is intense. And most of us are being faced with things that are, like, mine is my dogs. That's like very consuming. They're so consuming of my time is, and then time is just slipping away. Time is like, yesterday I was like, oh my God, it was like the evening and I hadn't even exercised yet. I was like, where did this day go? How in the world is this day over? And I'm like, what did I do? And I know I was messing with my hair. I took a little curling iron and I did the whole thing with this little curling iron, and then it fell out. And so I got a different curling iron now. And so I'm going to do it again today. So I don't know what my hair will be like tomorrow, but I did like it. But I don't know. So I don't know. I thought I liked it. It was like big, and but it all kept falling out. It's so weird too, because there for a while my hair was a lot more curly. It would hold curl too. Now it's just like, God dang, man, it doesn't hold curl for shit. And so anyways, but I'm gonna do all these little like ringlets and see what happens if it's like fro hair or something. I had my hair like that in high school, my senior year of high school. Like I had said before, I went and got a perm with my friend. She was going to get one. So I don't know. I would go do things with people. Just like I went to the psychic with my friend. It's supposed to be her reading and I get a reading. In mine was that I didn't have to pay for mine. She just started saying all this stuff to me when I walked in. And the same thing. I don't remember having an appointment for my hair. I was going with her, and then all of a sudden I'm getting my hair. And that's my friend that we went around, and she had dark curly hair, and then I had light colored curly hair. And people were always like, oh, you guys look like heart. which was a band back then, of a girl who had dark curly hair and light curly hair, and which we did look like them. It was weird. It wasn't like we did it on purpose. And but anyways, so I'm gonna do that to my hair, only with a curling iron, and see what happens. See, so tomorrow we'll see if it still even stays in. So anyways, but that's the one thing I do like, having my hair do something that you can do different things to it. When it's long and straight, I don't know. I couldn't do as much stuff to mine. I mean, I know there's some people that do, but it's like, it was like, I felt like I was more limited. Now, like I can change the part, it changes the hair thing, and curl it, you can do it straight. Like there's all sorts of things you can do to change it. So anyways, I'm going to do this little thing today. And so I don't know, is it going to take the whole day again? I was like, I couldn't believe, like, that was the only thing I could think of that I did besides just my regular stuff. And it's just like, man, I don't know. It really is like time is just slipping away, slipping through our fingers. It's moving so fast. And then if you just follow like what it is you want to do, like follow the here and now and do whatever it is that you want to do. And then it's just like it's slipping away because I don't think I watched anything. I may have seen some TikToks, but the TikToks are all being so weird. Here we go. She's been so whiny. And I don't know if I don't even know at this point. And it's hard to keep being like, the med beds, where it's like, God dang, I've been going for years. I hope that lady's right. I hope it is April 2nd. I hope we get our appointments. I hope we get to take our pets in. And it's like, sometimes I think, well, surely she wouldn't, rough it out this whole time and then just be like, go, and then the next week they come. Surely at this point we're going to get there, but I don't know. Yes, ma'am. I know you're not comfortable. Yeah, I know. I get it. But anyways, I don't think I watched anything yesterday, but everything is just becoming, even my dreams, they're kind of like being at movies and weird stuff. So I don't even know. Everything is just a big mishmash. Being alive at this point, it's just like it's a totally different experience. It's not what it used to be, that's for sure. So, and it really is like, you just got to be prepared for whatever comes. Live your life, be happy, be more grateful for the experiences that you go through, and not bitter and angry and just trying to escape being alive, because I don't think that is raising your vibration to want to escape being alive. I think that could be something that would hold somebody back in a lower vibration, because they don't have they don't understand the point of being alive, and they don't have gratitude for what it is created inside of you. Because what would you be without life and all of its experiences? What would you be? Just an energy, just a light out in the sky? We have the ability to become aware of ourselves. We have the ability to experience and learn from ourselves. So I think that we need to have gratitude for that experience. Honey, what is it you want me to do? Well, you can come over here by me. I'm worried she's getting the dementia. But we did start on the horse pace again, so I'm doing whatever I can. Got the horse pace going. Are you just so stiff? You're just so uncomfortable? And then you clear up her nails, and she hates it. And her nails are so big and thick. What is it, honey? And she's got this big knot right back here. A big, one of those sores that she gets. And I was putting, what is that? Salt stuff. I was soaking it yesterday in the, whatever that salt stuff is called. It hasn't opened yet, but I feel like, God, Ruthie, she's got to be right in everything. I'm hoping that it will and get the stuff out of it. I made applesauce bread this morning. And I'm sure she can smell it. And she's like, okay, I'm hungry now. I woke up. I swear to God, our day, that is one thing about our day. It revolves around her sleeping and eating. If she's awake, she thinks it's time to eat. Okay, I'm coming, lady. And she's bossy as can be. She's been bossing me around for her whole life. And I just love her. So it makes me sad that to see these dogs being abused and never got to experience somebody loving them. It's like every dog wants to experience somebody loving them. These dogs all just want all my love. They want all of me all the time. They want to suck the life out of me. And definitely, you know, I think Stella loves having a pack though. That's for sure. See, she wants in that room. That's what she is. She smells it does smell good. Okay, I'm coming. Just a minute. So, anyways, there goes Ruthie and Archie. They all are worked up. Hey, knock it off. Oh my gosh. Ruthie just went under my thing. She is, oh, Lord have mercy. She is an experience. Like, oh God, she's an experience. Gosh, she does the weirdest shit all the time. Oh my God, she drives me crazy. And oh my God, Max with the eating. I got a big giant mat to put. I kept getting things and getting bigger and bigger things, like a placemat thing. Now I've got this whole giant, like a wet pad from the hospital. A big giant thing to put. He splatters the food all over the whole thing. It's like, what is going on with you? I really got to see in there. All I can think of is got to be something with a tooth. But oh my God, what a freaking mess. And then these two, Archie and Ruthie, they just never let up on each other. Just constant. And she hasn't been, but I do keep toys up and stuff like that. But they seem like they just love each other and they just want to play all the time like puppies. Oh, there they go, just nonstop. Hey, stop it. And it doesn't mean come biting me. Gosh, she is something else. No. So anyways, my day has begun. We're in it now. So just remember when you're working on you, the goal is to learn how to love yourself, but it's gratitude and appreciation for the whole thing. How did you become who you are? And it's through all these crazy lives. Please stop it. And so, she's gonna climb right up on me. And no, stop, don't. She's knocking this shit. Oh Lord. Okay, so remember, learn how to love yourself. Learn how to love everybody else, because that's what we're here to do. And learn how to focus on, zoom in and zoom out. Focus on what it is you want to focus on in the day. Don't be consumed by what it is they want to consume us with. So we'll see what this day, what their offering is to consume us, to the consumption of the humans, to take up our time and our energy and confusion. So anyway, but see, she doesn't care if there's a toy. She'll just tear up anything. She's got her sight set on this blanket. She's constantly tearing this fucking blanket up. So anyways, my day has begun. So we're going to go in and have some applesauce bread, and I will be back in the morning. So I'll talk to you then. Talk to you later. Bye.